Come on, play. Johnsy. There we go. It's sponsor time. It's Johnsey's show tonight. It's Johnsy! Johnsy, proud to have you here with me, man. Johnsey's first co-host, duties at a psychedelic rock concert. Let's get to the sponsors. Tonight's shot brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey. Let's go, baby. The Christmas bourbon is out. It's got 3 bottles, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame theme. It's a thing in Cleveland, so go out and get yours now. And yes, we have permission to play this song, Facebook. Stop muting our intros. Branch barbecue sauce out of Lakewood, Ohio. The official condiment of the Dude Network, including the award-winning Fieldhouse Mustard. Grand Reserve champion at this year's National Mustard Contest. And Willow Seasoning and Blends. They've taken over the Dude Network. What can we say? We love it. Sweet Heat was the winner of the American Royal category for sweet and spicy. I think. I forget the category they won, but won that and then got second overall. So really happy with them. And then our guest tonight also has a lineup, BT Lee. Recently on PBS's Great American Recipe. Let's go. All right. Dude, dude, we literally talked to this guy for 10 minutes before the show, and then we had to cut off the conversation because it was already going so good about his show and everything that he does. He's a Browns fan. So super excited to have BT Lee on, old Brian himself. He'll be on in just about 10, 15 minutes here. But again, Johnsy, how we doing, man? How was the week?
Fantastic. The week actually flew by for some reason.
Dude, crazy week.
Felt like and all of a sudden it's Friday.
I felt like I just did nothing but literally, as that song would go, circles. That's a perfect.
Yeah.
Circle go.
I like the song. That's like the stuff I grew up listening to right there.
Yeah. By the way, they're out of Europe, but like when everything works out, they are going to do a show for us, a virtual show for us. So that's exciting. Nice. And we have the Appalachian Outlaws, that the cap on the bottle. Mm-hmm. They're also going to do a virtual show for us. He said, just get me to the winter when I can't do my live shows outside on Fridays. And he goes, I want to have more free nights. So I think we're going to get a virtual music series going on the Dude Network at some point. So if anybody's watching that knows a band that would be open to that, we'd love to hear what they have to sound. We're not going to just do open mic night. I mean, if we like it, we definitely want them. It's got to speak to the crowd, got to speak to the dudes and dudettes out there. You know, outlaw rock. I don't care if you got a good flow, man. Send it. That's what I'm all about.
I love music, so let's go.
Me too, man. Johnsy, are you like you could go anywhere from Bad Religion to Garth Brooks on the same back-to-back songs?
Thank you for saying the best punk rock band.
I mean, that was a Cali reference strictly for you because it's just you and me. I'm not going to bury you all night tonight, man.
Oh man. Is this even the Dude Network then?
Yeah, it's like, wait, what's going on? What's going on?
No, yeah. I mean, seriously, I have playlists that literally go from like, Bad Religion or something like that. You might hit a Whitney Houston song before you end up at Elton John or who knows. I love music, so. Yeah.
I mean, I am too, man. Yeah, by the way, Bad Religion, there's like an hour playlist on YouTube and it's like the best hour of your life.
I'm just saying. I saw
him. You forget how many bangers Bad Religion actually had.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. I saw him in like 2010, and it was 30 years of punk rock because they started in '80, and they were just like, it was so great, dude. They're like, we don't give a crap. Mosh, hit the shit out of each other. We're celebrating 30 years of rock. This record was out before most of you were even born, and they're just shredding.
Yeah.
And he's actually the singer. I can't remember his name right now. He's a professor at Cornell. I'm pretty sure it's Cornell. What? Yeah.
He does come across as a very intelligent person.
Very intelligent. Yeah.
He is the American genius. Jesus. Ding, da-da-ling, da-da-ling, da-da-ling.
He's definitely a 21st century digital boy.
I mean, hey. The Hollywood Hills are on fire, man. That's all I'm saying. Hollywood Hills are burning. That's what it is. Yeah.
Pretty much every year. So.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's so many though. Oh, like that's the thing. Like there's songs that the names of their songs are so weird that you can't remember. That's the thing about punk rock songs.
Yeah.
So, like there's like some that's like I shit my pants today and then walked to work. Like that's
but
it's like you remember that one song where they shit their pants and they went to work after their 40-hour work week, being a working class skin. Yeah, with their boots on the ground. Yeah, but he had shit in his pants.
Some had ridiculous names like the Swinging Udders and
dude, there was some. Oh man, there's so many funny. The Squirters was a local punk band in high school. The Squirters,
just
that was it.
Crap like that, dude. It was just awesome.
Yeah, and it was for diarrhea reference. For those wondering, it was a diarrhea reference.
Funny thing about Bad Religion, their first name they wanted to be Head Cheese, and everybody was like, "You'll never be able to get anywhere with Head Cheese."
And now
they threw a cross upside down and called it Bad Religion and blew up the world for punk rock.
And now he's a professor at Cornell. Not scary. Not scary.
Quote me on that, internet. Don't beat me up if I think it's Cornell. It's like a big university. Oh, look at that. Willows.
It was the hot category. It wasn't the sweet and spicy, but that seasoning could count as a sweet and spicy.
And it should be number one. The contest is structured. All right, folks.
The guest that we have on, I'm sure he's got some awards with his seasonings and sauce. There's so many talented. There's so many talented people out there, and our guest tonight is certainly one of them, Brian Leigh. I have a little soft spot for the guy because he's a Browns fan. I mean, come on. But honestly, like I've tried his stuff. It's really good. He's got a good range of his seasonings from like an herbal chicken. It's like very herby. And then he's got like something to cry about, which has like Carolina Reaper and like it'll burn your freaking face off. It'll melt your tongue. So it's like so he's got a big range of flavors with him. So he's good at working with flavors. It's how it probably got him on the PBS show. We're going to do a dive on that because it's a very cool show, that concept. I don't want to give away too much of it without him being here. But it's going to be a pretty cool conversation. We are definitely excited for that. But man, Jonathan, I'm just happy to have you here. Doobie's at a psychedelic rock concert slinging barbecue. Nombre's in Taos, New Mexico, like on the Earth ship or mothership or something like that, with like a 20,000 gallon cistern underneath it or something crazy. And then Nombre, he's with Al Fragoni. He might stop by. There might be an appearance of Nombre. He had to put his phone on charger. He said he's working hard though, so it might not happen. But he's down there with like Dark Side of the Grill, all kinds of people. So we're definitely happy to maybe have him stop by tonight. But also just so Johnsy, but you've been part of this Dude Network thing, man. You've been grinding, man. You've been getting us guests, and I'm just happy to have you on as a co-host, man. Like it's I don't want to make it sound weird, but it's well deserved, man. And I'm happy to have you here as my co-host tonight, dude. Like I was so happy, like Johnsy, you're hosting with me tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then Mikey, the Rev, White Trash Mike, he'll be on about quarter till. If you guys want to hear his brain, episode 3 of talking with Random Thoughts of the Rev came out a couple nights ago. Very cool stuff. We talked about German culture, beer, food, spirits, regions, culture. There's a pretty cool conversation per usual. And you know what? We stayed on track the whole time.
And coming up, I believe he's going to be talking about Italian food on Italy next month. So look forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. And Johnsy, your internet is we're glitchy, but I think you're coming back.
Really? What the heck?
Oh no. Blackout. A Cali blackout. Oh no. All right. Well, on that note, while Johnsy's figuring out now on this one over here, Johnsy, what's up, man? You're on this one. Wave. Hey, we're gonna do it this way. We'll introduce our guest and we'll put you back in the waiting room, man. Well, until your other one froze up. You're froze up on the other one. That one's like locked up.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Hey, I like the setup. This is like behind the scenes.
Sorry. Here we go.
Oh, he's everywhere. Hang on. Oh no. All right.
We're good now. That's it.
We're good now. We're good now. All right. Let's get to our guest here of honor. We're super, super excited to have him.
Yep.
We're lucky to have him. I'm just so thankful that people want to best impression of a statue ever. That was funny. I'm just so thankful, man, that guests want to come on our show like this, and that we are continuously getting these amazing guests with crazy backgrounds that have accomplished some serious cool thing in the foodie world. At the end of the day, Friday night is a foodie night show. There's a little bit of debauchery mixed in, and I think this guy's got all that covered. I think he's full of debauchery. He's a Browns fan, so I know
all over the map.
He's loyal and he's messed up in the head. BT Brian Leigh, what's up, man?
Hey, everybody. What's up, guys? How's it going?
You're what's up, man. How the hell are we living? How are we living?
Large and in charge.
Hey, YouTube Network. Oh man, hey, Browns gonna. How bad Browns beating the Jets on Sunday?
Oh man, I hope.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be close, like every other Browns game. Our sphincters will get tight in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It's gonna come down to Cade York. Every game this season, Cade York.
True story. Sent him an interview request, and his agent opened it because I have like the open receipt set up in my email. It's really cool. But now it kind of sucks because I'd rather them just think they didn't open it. It says like, "Hey, he opened it." And I'm like, "Oh, this fucker, this agent."
Just send him another email, and be like, "Hey, man, I know you opened that."
I'm going to screenshot that. And be like, "Hey, man, I saw you open it. It's rude not to respond, Mr.
Dude, you should at least say no. Just tell me no.
Just be like, "Hey, man, do you realize what you're doing to your client? The reach that I have."
Right. Yeah. Play that card right there. Don't you know? I'm Tony from the Dude Network.
Yeah. Do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah.
I've cooked for Smith Meats.
Right.
I've met Tina Cannon.
Right.
I am the Dude Network.
Sometimes you just gotta swing it.
Yeah, swing it long and hard. Oh,
hey,
different reference. Different. I said
it. But it applies. It's like
it's the same thing though. Sometimes
it's Otto Graham made me do it. Actually, I got Bernie over there. You know his ass made me do it.
Oh boy, here we go.
Bernie was on. Real quick, Browns reference. Bernie was on at 11 o'clock on the radio here locally on Sunday, and he had 3 bottles of gin in him. Had to.
I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. My uncle used to run Bernie's soybean farm out in Manaway.
Okay.
And we used to have parties at like the Quonset hut, and I would drive his go-kart through his soybean field. I don't know if he ever knew how we ruined his soybean field.
I have a feeling that he probably didn't know much about yield. If I had
I'm probably sure he didn't even know he had a farm.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man, Browns fans know Bernie.
Bless Bernie, man.
God bless Bernie.
Right.
Maybe cooking for him soon. Apparently, the reflog.
I loved it when he did preseason. He did preseason like I don't know, 2012 or something like that. I want to say.
Oh, he did. He did one preseason and he buried a dude. Remember that? Like he made references about the kid's mama, basically.
Yes.
And it was like went national. They're like, all right, Bernie, like
it was great. Bernie got canceled after that. Like there's no
Bernie
way he was gonna get
getting canceled was cool.
Yeah. I loved it. I remember watching the game and I was like,
oh, Willow here out of Denver. After Elway kept kicking his ass, he had to turn to the bottle.
Yeah.
And that's how we lose Willow.
That's how we lose Willow right there.
Negative.
Elway never had a problem opening that bottle with his teeth.
Oh, yeah. Oh man. Well,
hey, just remember we're all friends, guys.
Are we though? We though? I remember
Browns and Broncos fans have a long history of shit talking, Johnsy. It's perfectly okay.
Dude, I know.
This is where he's like, I can't hear you over my Super Bowl rings. And we're like, yeah.
Trust me, I know.
And then he's going to be like, I still have rings.
I live in the state where the Dodgers are, and it's literally like you are like the 100,000 people who like the Dodgers, or you are the mortal enemy of them. Yeah. It's just how it is. So,
So Brett Favre situation. We actually have a question. How are we feeling about Favre? I know not a big sports show, but we can all agree that we probably all had our reservations of Favre whenever he was in the Jets, plopping his wiener out on the desk in front of a lady assistant.
You whip your dick out. There's a thing that follows you forever. So.
So yeah, the fact, and then the trouble. I'm more troubled that he tried to do it for a bunch of volleyball players. Like build them a stadium or a court. So yeah, there's a lot of. See, that's what I'm telling you. It's a go-to. It's told you it's predictable. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Well, if you want to count championships, we can.
We can, but then they're going to go, yeah, back in the 50s. But guess what? We brought back Brownie the Elf championships. Let's go. Championship.
Best center field on the planet. 50 yards, baby.
Everybody hates it except for Browns fans, which makes it that much more clear.
That much better. that just tells me that this is like the one time I've really felt like Haslam has gotten us. Like that's it.
Yeah. He's botched like 6 uniform redesigns, but he did nail the mid.
Right.
And here's
you put the Brownie in the midfield.
The black and white TV championships do not count. See, I told you. I'm calling out all his arguments before he throws them out there. So what is that?
We've heard it all before.
Yes. So
and for better teams. So
all right.
I don't want to start a whole nother
back to the brotherhood.
It reminds me of all my friends arguing for why the Raiders are still the best football team. It's like, but are they?
No.
Actually, but no, I'm not talking crap on the Browns.
You can. I mean, we get it all the time. I think Brian. That's why we're
a pride point.
We are always in self-defense mode because
always. This is a true story, and because we do the fantasy together. The last time I played fantasy football, whatever years ago was, I had Browns quarterback, and my dad. Who my quarterback was, and I said, "Oh, so and so from the Brown." I can't remember who it was.
Could have been a lot.
My dad, straight up, dead honest truth. My dad went, "Cleveland still has a football team."
Oh,
Jake Taylor. Yeah, we got uniforms and everything.
But it was like, it was like they had like a really good comeback all of a sudden out of nowhere, and I was like, they're actually doing really good this year. So it's just fun.
The Bills are still in the Super Bowl. Come on, Mikey. The Rev. Come on, Rev.
I have a Johnny Manziel t-shirt.
Oh, I do too. It says, "Here comes Johnny."
Mine's
Mr.
with him in his Las Vegas.
The Billy Manziel.
Billy Manziel or whatever. And it's got him with the mustache on it.
Is he riding the white swan? Is he riding the pool swan? Yeah.
What was that?
Is he riding the white pool swan?
Say what you will about that era. It was fun.
We had some memories. We had a lot.
It was fun.
There was never a dull day. Never a dull day. Nope. So speaking of never a dull day, I love you. Obviously, that you're a Browns fan. I knew we had that off. But B, man, you had a really, really awesome experience this year cooking on the PBS Great American Recipe Show.
Yeah.
And basically the concept was they brought in a cook from every different region of the country, and they broke it down to about 10 regions, correct?
Well, originally it was supposed to be regional, but then they just found people with good familial stories. Like I was originally supposed to be representing the Mid-Atlantic region, because I'm down here in Kentucky now, and they're like, "Hey, you're from the South," and I'm like, "No, I'm not."
No,
I am now, but I'm not then. So, originally it was like that, but it ended up being just a lot of diverse ethnic backgrounds and heritage that basically formed the melting pot of the American experience.
Yeah, that's so cool. That is.
And it really was like I told Brian, like, the episodes are like an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that the episodes are like, it was like 2 competitions in one episode. So I like that they were really long and you could sink your teeth into it.
Yeah.
And it's PBS, so it's like commercial free.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, but it's just straight content. I love it.
Boom.
And, but it was, I felt like, people can say like most of the TV shows are fictional, or they have a fictional plot to them.
Yeah.
But with yours, I felt like there was a lot of authenticity with the contestants, their recipes, because it was a lot more simple. They were nice plating and everything like that, but I felt the recipes were all things that we actually make, in our kitchen.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the cooks that were there and like how it was structured and like how it was perceived on TV after you got done with it? Like how real close to was it being like a real situation?
I felt like they did a pretty decent representation of what we were. I felt like it was cut a little fast, and I really wish that there would have been like almost like an exhibition game or a preseason episode where everyone's just like, you've got 2 hours, show us who you are. You know what I mean? Without being cut or anything like that, because Christina went out on the first episode and honestly, she's fantastic. There needs to be more of her, in the whole thing. But the show itself is authentic. I mean, none of these guys are professional chefs. I'm probably the closest thing to a food professional that was there, and that's because I have BT Lee's,
Right.
Nikki has Easy Peasy Kitchen where she does meal prep for executives and stuff like that. But that's it, everyone just has a love of cooking. Well, Sylvia has a food blog and she's fantastic at what she does. Like she's so good at it.
Now you don't have to say any names. Was there anybody there that probably had no business being there?
No one at all. They were all very well equipped and well versed in their heritage. Like all their plates came with just exposition and backstory, just so much shit behind it,
You're right.
Up. Like sometimes I feel like I was the one that shouldn't have been there because I'm like, I just like to cook and I like to take from this and take from that and take from all these different places to build my cuisine. I'm not like, my nana's nana brought this recipe over from Italy.
Yeah, she smuggled it under her t-shirt and
exactly.
Keistered it over here.
Like that's Dan. Yeah. That's Dan's story. He grew up in a very he showed up. This guy, he showed up with like a pasta maker and a cookbook that was like leather bound, that was like an ancestral cookbook. He's like, this is
this the guy that made the gnocchi?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And he's like, I'm the last one in my family that makes this.
Right.
So that's true though. So that was him. He showed up with a leather bound cookbook.
It was like all like handwritten recipe. Half of it was in Italian, and like Dan is a G. He's just a straight G. It's
now amazing. That would be a cookbook I would like to have in my collection.
Yeah,
same.
Truthfully, that terrified the living shit out of me. I'm thinking to myself, this is gone. Like if there's a flood, this is gone. If there's a fire and he's a firefighter, this is gone. I was like, there better be a digital copy of that someplace.
Yeah, at least like scan it into the library archives or something.
Right.
Get it published. If there's ever one that needs published, like talking about a turnkey recipe book.
I'm saying, because I mean, if they're that good, why hold on to them? If you're the last one who makes it, like let us have it.
But the guy was still like had a lot of cooking in him, and some guys aren't ready to share the family secret.
No, you got to respect that too.
I guess you do. I have a fundamental issue with that. Like the whole thing about this show that really intrigued me was the fact that I could share my stuff, right? And make it a part of the public narrative. Mm-hmm. And like the traditions that I instilled in my family and that were instilled in me could become a tradition for someone else. And maybe they're gonna, I don't know, cook with sumac or something crazy that I use all the time, and just get it going.
You cook with sumac?
Yeah, that's in my rub.
Poison sumac?
No. It's a berry. It's a berry.
Okay, that must is it Kentucky?
No, that's what everyone. That that right there is a Northeast Ohio answer. That's an Ohio answer. Poison sumac? Yeah.
Yeah, because like poison oak's bullshit, but poison sumac in Southern Ohio is a thing.
Yeah.
We have poison oak, and the sumac oil in it is what causes the rash and the allergic reaction on people.
Yeah.
So that's what I.
Unfortunately, there's also a spice called sumac, which is Middle Eastern.
I've never cooked with it. Describe that.
It's a little tart. It's a little bitter. It's a berry. It's got a nice red flavor. If you smell it, you're like, you can know that it's a berry, but you can almost smell the tartness on it. It's one of the ingredients in my rubs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, the Rev. He's like, "Oh, man,
you got to use it."
I had a patch in my backyard. Back there was a dump truck. I got back there in the backyard. I got my sumac.
Yeah,
we love the Rev, man. Him. Yeah.
How did you get?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. I coughed over you. My bad.
You just like to cook. How did you get to spices like sumac? How did you get to these ones that some of us have never even heard of?
That's true.
So that's a really great question.
Hey, John, you were made for this co-hosting shit.
I know. Great question right there.
Great question, John D. Great question.
I kind of consider myself a culinary explorer by nature.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the guy. So when I first enter a town, my wife always rags on me for this. So like, we will go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like that is part of the trip. I will go visit a couple grocery stores there. I'll see what's on their shelves. If I don't know what it is, I'll pick it up. I'll also seek out ethnic food stores.
Yes.
Like Asian food stores, Ethiopian, African food stores. Like I'll just go there and be like, hey, what's going on? What do you got? What's fun? And go from there. And I like to think I'm one of those people that like can taste it and then I catalog it in my brain and then I kind of figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
We love Tony. You know
Tony. Tony's addicted to the Clevelander.
Hey, Tony is awesome.
Tony's awesome.
Tony is the man. Tony's the man. All right, Nombre is over here and lighting. I can't hear and lighting is bad. Nombre is in the area here, so I'm on work phone. All right, but yeah. Tone is like one of the coolest dudes ever on Twitter.
For real on that.
Okay.
Literally supportive dude out there.
Solid dude.
We love. He's like Brian. Yeah, we know, dude. The Clevelander, you nailed that one, dude.
I did. Wait until the spicy.
He's like, I did. I know it.
I know it. Look, it's not hubris. It's not hubris when you have the hardware to back it up. And
when
that was 16 awards behind it. So
yeah.
And that's only because I didn't enter last year. I didn't enter anything into 2020 at all. So all y'all in Mustard Division think that you got it. You don't.
Oh no. Oh no.
You don't.
Oh no!
Sorry.
What I've learned is, there's a lot of different varieties of mustard. Though.
Yeah, there are.
And I put it on here. It's like, we have our partners, and we really like our partners, or we wouldn't promote our partners. But there are so many talented lineups out there, and your Cleveland sauce, it's got a different color than most of the other mustard sauce. Yours is like more
like that beautiful orange color.
It's got that orange color to it.
Yep.
It's got that. It's not as vinegary as most.
Right.
It's got a lot of different flavor profiles in your mustard sauce that I haven't had in other mustard sauces. And that's what I love about it. I love mustard sauces. I like all of them. So like yours is solid. Willow's is solid. The Carolina Gold I just got down in Florence, that was a solid one. I mean, there's some amazing mustard sauces out there, and yours Clevelander sauce is delicious. On a pulled pork Sammy, it's delicioso.
So is it called the Clevelander sauce because is it like a special way that like mustard is kind of in Ohio, or is it
Cleveland, Ohio has some serious Germanic roots.
Yeah. Okay.
And Polish
roots. Eastern Bloc entirely, aside from the Italian portion of it, which is also a part of this. I grew up in Northeast Ohio. I was surrounded by the best damn maple country on the planet. Well, I don't know about the planet, close to, right?
Yeah.
I got some pride, okay? I do.
Send it.
I do. And so the Clevelander is kind of like an homage to my hometown. I use the stadium mustard that they use in the Jake and Progressive Field, and we got maple in there. We've got rosemary. Everything's got a base of green chilies. What I do, you know, it's totally delicious.
Yeah, it really
so
is
delicious.
It really is a good sauce.
Yeah.
The one of yours I have not opened yet is the jalapeno because I'm afraid of the hotness.
Don't be afraid of that. It's not that spicy. Like, that's not that spicy. If you can handle cry, you can handle jalapeno.
Okay.
Jalapeno's not that hot usually.
No, it's like normally like a raw jalapeno is like my climax of enjoyable heat. Like anything hotter than a jalapeno, I'm normally out.
My jalapeno business is sweet, funky, and fruity. It skews more Indian than it does Latin American. It has heavy lime notes that hit late in the process. You're going to get floral fruity tones from Amture, which is dried green mango skins. They powder it, and it imparts all that flavor. But the heat on the jalapeno comes right at the end, and then does not stick around.
Oh man, that's
first place National Barbecue Association's Award of Excellence for spicy vinegar in 2021.
Okay,
2021.
Incredible.
I think I got that laying around here somewhere.
Yeah, in your closet full.
Yeah, one of the files of all my awards.
If shit ever hits the fan and we need scrap, we know where we're going.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Fogo Chargo now. Captain Ron, what up, Captain Ron? We got Ryan Dawson. He's right here. What's up, Chef Ryan? You gotta have the magical mop sauce. All right, that's one I gotta try. Nombre is in the back room here. Nombre, give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Nombre, give us a thumbs up. Nombre, you good? We got him in the background. All right. He's down here with Alfregoni. Brian, I know I talked to you before this. Thanks for letting us squeeze this in here. We want to give Nombre, a co-host of the show, a chance to plug his charity event. He's down in Texas with Alfregoni.
Absolutely.
Here is Nombre. What up, bro?
Hey, guys. I'm having technical difficulties.
That's all right.
But I'm going to write it out. I really can't hear you. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to tell you I wasn't ready, but it's all right. We'll rock and roll. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So right behind me is a whole steer.
Yeah.
It went on about 4 o'clock.
Nice.
So
hang on. Let's put it on the big screen.
4 o'clock next tomorrow. We're going to have an all-nighter. And then we walk over here.
Full steer on a crucifix.
That's right. Texas.
We have roughly 7 more crosses. We're going to have 2 whole hogs and 5 or 6 cabritos. The lighting's horrible over here, guys. But I just want to give a shout out. There's over 20 influencers, TikTok and Instagram. It's epic. It's in the Bernie area, north of San Antonio. If you can make it out here, I would greatly appreciate it. If you go to my Instagram page, there's a bunch of ticket links to get you tickets, plenty of tickets available. And there's Big Hobbs. He created the cross. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
What up, Big Hobbs?
And there's the whole steer again.
That's crazy.
That's impressive.
Beautiful thing.
It's epic. Sorry, I just inhaled a bunch of smoke. But
hey, it's like Doobie's with us.
Yeah. And he's gonna see a close up on my face because I can't hear for some reason. I don't have my headpiece or anything with me. So sorry about the close up, and it's dark as heck out here.
Captain
Bogo,
Ron,
what's going on? Appreciate the shout out.
Yeah, he said say hello to the gang. Say hello to the gang.
Yes, sir. Hey, Tony, I appreciate your time, guys. I can't hear you. I wish I could hear y'all, but you'll have a great day. I'll see y'all next Friday.
Thanks, Nombre. Good luck. Everyone use promo code Texas10 for 10% off the tickets. Go to his Instagram page and to go down and help out the first responders in that area down there. Thank you, Nombre.
Appreciate y'all. It'll be good.
Yep. All right. That was cool. We got to see a whole steer on a crucifix. That's why I had to have him on here, Brian.
That's awesome. All day, every day. I'll step aside for that forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's not too often you get to see a whole steer. And
you know,
I'm glad they went back for a second. So now Johnson can clip that because that's definitely going on the YouTube page. That is
we're real on that. That's nice.
Sure. So you're from Cleveland. Now you live in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Right. At what point did you I love food? Like I got to do it.
I love food. I got to do it. So there's my dad. Okay, this is a little long and winding story here, right?
We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Send it.
My father was a legend, I guess, in Geauga County, Ohio. He was one of those play hard, work hard kind of dudes.
Okay.
And he would stand up something called a Fat Eddie party every year that would start on a Wednesday and end on a Monday.
My kind of guy.
And I lived on this 2-acre lot, this 2-acre rolling hill thing, right? And literally it turned into 3 baseball games, volleyball games, and a sea of cars. And my mom would lock all the doors on the house and no one was fucking allowed in. You're pissing in the woods. That's fine. Sleeping underneath the buffet tables. We're good. But that's what it was. So every year they would stand up like a pit and roast or spit roast whatever they had hunted that year. So by age 4, I have already eaten bear on a spit. They went to Yellowstone. They bagged a bear. Okay, they brought it back. Whatever.
That's awesome.
Moose. We had obviously there was pig everywhere. Venison like crazy.
Damn, so you guys were hunters, man.
It was. He died when I was
people when I was
4 years old. But then they kept that party going as an homage to him for years. So I remember running around this party as a little shit, just mixing ketchup, mustard, and whatever else I could find together and trying to force feed it to people. And most people just wouldn't have it, but some people did. And so ever since I've always been a culinary guy. We've always had a garden. We've always had fresh meats. We're a family of farmers, the whole 9 yards on that. And it's always been there. I right out of high school, I hooked in with my friend, my brother from another mother's family, and I started working in his pizza joints. And I ended up getting hired out of there to do, for all things technology. I went into IT for 10 years and then programming for another 10 years. And then severance happened at that company. And I decided to give this a real go. During my time with that company, I was setting up sign-up sheets on Thursdays, figuring out what everyone wanted me to smoke for the weekend and bringing it on a Monday and feeding all these 25-year-old programmers that have way too much money.
Yeah.
Right.
But no ability to cook for themselves. So
I'm down for that, man.
That's how we did it. I had my smoker delivered to work the first time. I Weber 22.5. And I remember because my wife was on vacation, she was at a trade show, and I sent her a picture and she's like, "What in the hell did you do?"
Whoops.
I mean, what ended up happening was I would sell all the barbecue to them, and then eventually I would make sauces. And I'm doing everything from scratch at this point. I didn't buy a single spice blend from anything. Every spice blend I've ever had, I've bought, I've tasted, and it's in a cabinet somewhere. It's very rare when I actually go through a whole bottle of someone else's stuff.
Right. I'm capable of doing it, but I just love tasting everyone's artwork.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everyone's blend is their own piece of art. And I respect the layers of flavor that people put into their rubs. But that's what makes food. There's so many different ways to do it your way.
Right.
I mean, it's I enjoy. You know me, man. I like helping the small businesses out too.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, if I can help get
the other way is how you get this side.
Now, everyone thinks I just post shit I like. I do not post everything. There are some things that have not made the cut, and Like you're something to cry about. Like it's just this. It's so hot for me that it's a tough one for me to find a balance in. But I do need to figure out a way. I at least need to do like some damn chicken wings in it, or like even if it's like 3 of them.
Do it on the underside of the ribs.
On the underside of the ribs.
Only the underside.
Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense because you
underside of the ribs, something for rubbing on the top side. So when you get that bite, the flavor, the spice hits your tongue first. But as you chew, it disperses out and tamps it down. So you're gonna get that's hot. Oh, that's nice.
Did we just tap into physics on the Dude Network or biology?
Brian Leigh, that is.
I said physics first. That shows you how dumb I truly am. So there's that. But we all kind of knew that, so we've confirmed it. We can move on.
We tried to blow right past
it. That's why I love having so many different people on here, John Z. We just don't know what kind of stuff we're going to hear, man.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy the stuff that Brian's got going, like throwing spices we've never even heard of, and it's just
I'm full of shit.
He's like, I don't know. It sounds good, but that's what works. That's what works in my mouth.
But the best part is you heard him in the beginning. I'm just a guy who likes to cook.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It started out. He was just a guy who likes to cook, and he's good at it.
Rev Mike, I might know a thing or two about this. Shocker.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
He probably invented it and put it.
He's like, get out of the way, children. Let the adults talk.
He's like, well, if you put like 1 tablespoon of sugar and then put it on the rear quarter of that one piece, it will disperse. If you use a reverse flow and it comes up from the bottom, it'll distribute differently. So make sure you put it on the 45th quadrant of the right quarter rib. Yeah.
I mean, there is something to layering flavors. And there is something about stacking.
There is. And that's like a good sandwich. A good sandwich, every layer needs to have a different flavor.
Hey.
That's where everyone thinks you can just make a smashing big ass sandwich. But if you make like your patties like this damn thick, like if you don't put anything inside that meat, you're not getting any flavor other than just beef. And like,
have you ever you've been to Slyman's, right?
You know what's funny? I've been to many roast beef places and corned beef places in Cleveland, and Slyman's is one I have not been to yet.
You know, the secret to Slyman's is there was 3 brothers, and Slyman's was only one of them, and the other 2 was like Nate's and Johnny's place, maybe same corned beef, identical, but the Slyman's line is like 3 miles long, so.
Yeah, Slyman's is like Slyman's is so big. I think like from what I've heard, the quality isn't what it once was, unless you go to the original tavern.
Yeah,
go to the original tavern.
Yeah. But Slyman's does that. They got like that much corned beef on the sandwich.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like a Dagwoods type. It's like a little football.
Yeah. It's totally like a football.
Yeah, it's totally overkill. John, if you ever want the corn best, and I will say this about Cleveland, and I will fight people over it. Maybe other than maybe Boston, but like I bet I'd put Cleveland's corned beef game against any city in the world.
Cleveland's got a baller food scene.
It's so good, man. We talk about that. I mean, I know you watched the show, but if you haven't figured it out, like we had like the Tellers on, and we were talking to them. You know, there's like Little Italy. There's Polish Village. Like you go over to Parma, and there's literally stores that you can go to that only speak Polish. Like they speak to you, like you're not inconveniencing them, but they haven't spoke a lot of English that day when they talk to you, and it's very short, broken sentences. But like the pierogies are they're in Polish.
If you're not getting your pierogies from a church lady's basement on Fridays, you're not getting the right pierogies.
You're not getting the right pierogies.
That's just that. There it is. There it is. Yeah.
But you got little Poland, you got little Germany, you got little Italy, you got the Ukrainian.
There's three blocks of Chinatown.
There's 3 blocks of Chinatown. Massive.
Bolong, I think is the Chinese restaurant there. That's right there. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many, and man, basically like whatever you want is in Cleveland, man.
And it's small. It's so together, you know.
It really, and you know, it's really easy to navigate through Cleveland. There's like 5 interstates that go through Cleveland, so Cleveland's like never backed up, like ever.
But before I left, my friends and I were gonna do a po' boy crawl.
Ooh,
Cleveland Polish boy.
yeah.
We were gonna find as many places as possible that serve the Cleveland Polish boy and rate them, but we never did. We never got to it, and I feel real bad about that. Actually, it crosses my mind often.
Do you ever come back up to the Cleveland area?
I do. I was there.
If he says last week, I'm gonna be pissed.
Right? No, when the hell was that? Time is not my friend.
Like 2 nights ago.
Time is a human construct. No, I was up there doing a cooking demonstration in Stark State University.
Oh, Canton, like 20 minutes from my house.
And right next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I did. I went up, visited family and friends for like 2-3 days. Did this cooking demo at Stark State for PBS, Western Reserve PBS, and then I bounced over to Pittsburgh to do a show in Monroeville.
Like I said, he's all over the map, folks.
Yeah, Monrovers, let's go.
And we are all on. There's no moss on this Rolling Stone.
That's awesome. That's good to hear, though.
It's tiring. That's what it is.
Yeah. What's that, John Z?
Oh, he just said it. I said, see, guys, he's all over the map. And, and I said, it's awesome for him. You know, it's awesome.
Oh, I thought you asked my question. My bad.
Tiring. I go, oh, I bet.
So
for years.
This is a good question here for you, Brian. Then we're going to bring the Rev in, to get us to the top of the hour here.
Sure.
And you don't have to leave at 10 if you don't. I mean, you go whenever the hell you want, man.
All right, right on.
But yeah, so Cleveland, well-versed, super amount of different options. When you go to Cleveland, what's the one thing that you gotta have? What's BT Lee getting in Cleveland? Is it going to be a brat? Is it going to be corned beef? Is it going to be some kind of special sausage from a Atlanta market that you miss? What is it?
So this is going to sound really weird, right? There's two things I have to do.
I promise you it'll be just fine.
Two things I have to do when I go to Cleveland. One is Mitchell's ice cream.
Okay, I know that. I know that place.
Spectacular. And we like to go to Chula.
What's Chula? I don't know that one.
So Chula is a fast casual Indian place that started in Beechwood. And since then they have expanded out to like many different metropolis areas. Like they're in DC now, and it's kind of like the Chipotle of Indian food, but baller.
Oh,
it's so good. Awesome. So good. They had an appetizer there called a samosa shot, which was 3 samosas with a bunch of shit on top of it. Tamarind sauce. There was a mint chutney, like a bunch of things. And it was like $3.99 for this thing. And I couldn't find better. I've been to like great Indian places. I just couldn't find better. And it was so fast and beautiful, you know? Well, that, and there's always the West Side Market. It's always a trip there.
I have yet to be to the West Side Market because I am far enough away from Cleveland to where that would take, it's like 3-hour round trip to make that happen.
Worth it.
Yeah, I need to just go make a day of it. I know.
It's worth it.
You know what, though? What I'm most afraid of is spending an entire paycheck.
Yep.
Because you can find anything, if I'm not mistaken. It's big.
Yep.
The West Side Market, you've been to a lot of markets. How big is the West Side Market compared to most?
It's not like super huge. I think there's like 40 booths inside, and there's a good decent open air section of it. But the quality that's there is through the roof.
Yeah.
Everything from artisanal cheeses to there's a spice shop called Naren's, which I think we might be available in. I'm not sure. I know I was talking to her for a while. There's so many different meats, and the meat selection is like old school meat. So like you can get a pig's head if you want.
Ooh. You
know, you can get Debrecini, which is double smoked Czechoslovakian sausage. Like there, you can find all these different different things that you just can't find
anywhere.
And they've got like seven different meat shops within there, and there's no competition, which it blows my mind. Like Little Italy's got like 12 Italian restaurants within a block, and they all seem to thrive, right?
Yep.
West Side Market's the same way. Plus there's crepes, and then there's Sam's Euros. There's a lot of stuff.
I forgot about the Greek population. There's like a little Greeks up there too.
Oh, tons.
Dude, John Z, everything. Like, you can go to Cleveland, and there's a lot, and it's not just Cleveland. Like Pittsburgh think it's like pierogies and paninis down there. Like, it's not that. Like, all these like coal towns and steel communities had so many different immigrants come in for work back in like the 1800s and like the Industrial Revolution, that in these Midwestern towns, like, you can come to any of these metropolis towns. And like, even like with Frickson, like, Frickson, you think like little podunk Caucasian farming community. And you go up there and they're slinging picanha and all these like Mexican cuts and like chorizo and all this stuff. And it's because they have a massive like Guatemalan and like Latino, like Mexicano, like, from the farmers that came up there to work on the farms. Yeah. And then they got into the butcher shop. So like their local butcher up in middle of nowhere, Minnesota's got like all these like Latino meat cuts that they're slinging up there, man. So, but it's just Midwest. Midwest has so much diversity, and you can come to a town like Cleveland and you can try so many different cultures of food and do it affordably. Yeah. Like, if you want an ultimate foodie experience, a week-long trip to Cleveland, and you'll probably knock a lot of things off your bucket list.
It's a gem. It's an absolute gem. I've heard like foodinistas say that it literally is the best destination point outside of New York City for food.
It's a sleeper. That's why I wanted to do the talking. Like, you were here with the talking. You watched the Talking with Cleveland with the Tellers and Reflog, Chris McNeil. And like, my whole point of that whole show, it's not just Cleveland sports. I really want people, like, I really want to like just show off what people don't know about Cleveland, which is a lot. And the food scene, like Cleveland, like, I'm going to die on, as Rev would say, we're getting to bring him on, you're going to die on that hill. And I'll be like, with a bush light in my hand. But yeah, like, it's like my life's mission is to get people to stop shitting on Cleveland and like appreciate that it is a beautiful city.
Yeah. You got some uphill.
Rev, you're not coming back on this show until you start shaking your head the other way on that comment.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, it's an uphill battle. I deal with it all the time because they're like, the Clevelander, mistake on the lake. And I was like, you just try the damn sauce.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so 16. Good. I was like, yeah, just like Cleveland. So
the Clevelander has literally won as many championship belts as Ric Flair. I mean, let's just face it. Ric Flair is a 16
Well, see, the way that Brian put it, it's like you said, that blogger or whoever said it's like New York, but without being New York.
Yeah.
And
there's no pretension.
You're speaking to my heart, because I would love to go experience that kind of city without the New Yorkiness of it.
Man, if you come to Cleveland right now, mid-September through the end of September is the best time.
It's San Fran weather.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's like, it don't get higher than 75. It don't get colder than 55.
It doesn't get cold. Exactly. And as you creep towards October, everything starts turning, right? So you start getting all the fall foliage, and then all the festivals start popping up. Like my hometown of Newberry and Burton was the Maple Festival and the Apple Butter Festival. Like, all these things start happening. And then the cloudscapes that start occurring are literally probably some of the best visuals ever, because you know that those clouds are loaded with snow.
And then
just loaded with it, but it's not hitting the ground yet.
Yeah.
And you got like this crystal blue sky with these big puffy clouds, but it's still shorts weather.
Yeah, it really is.
It's crazy.
Knock it off right now.
Of Cleveland right there.
That was me. That was on me. I fat thumbed the button. Sorry, Rev.
Yeah. It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile. Plus,
it definitely is. And plus, you got rent free an hour and a half south, John C. How about that?
Hey.
And I'm in the foothills, so we can go over we can see some fall foliage in the mountains, baby. Let's go. Hey, so it wouldn't be an after party without the Rev. We watched him talk over here on the sidebar. I think him and Brian are going to hit it off and talk about some shit that's way over me and Johnsie's head, which is expected. So, straight out of Arizona, but born and raised on Coney Island. No, not Coney Island, Long Island. I don't know. Is Coney Island on Long Island?
Coney Island is just
I have no idea. We're going to ask him, though. It's an amusement park, but is it an amusement park on Long Island? Oh, no. We're going to ask this guy. White Trash Mike, as Brian just took a shot of moonshine.
Woo!
I wish.
It wouldn't be the Dude Show, the Dude Network, if you didn't do that, man.
Yeah.
This is kind of what we do.
That's a staple of the network.
Yeah.
I haven't done a jug chug in a minute.
I've been calling for him, but no one seems to care.
Hey, for Johnsie's first co-hosting night, you get one, sir.
Yes. Woo!
My liver hurts watching this.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that was a double bubbler. That was a lot.
Did you get that off of the back of a truck?
No, I made that myself.
Oh, you made that yourself? Oh,
Peach
bathtub
brandy.
food or
Even
like legit?
and cleaned the peaches myself, sir.
Very
No,
nice.
No,
Yeah, made the mash from scratch. Rev knows a thing or two about mash making, but that's my pride and joy. And I would like to make another batch and age it in bourbon. I think, and with some rye, a peach rye bourbon sounds delicious.
Yeah.
You bourbon guy down in Kentucky? You a bourbon guy now?
I gotta be, right?
Hey, next time you're in Cleveland, grab a bottle of Cleveland whiskey, $32.99. It is delicious. Coming soon to a store near
Listen,
you.
I will tell you right now that that I had no idea how many bourbons there actually were until I walked into a Kentucky liquor store. Because growing up in Ohio, we got those state stores, right? Where they're like the police state kind of tells you what you can buy.
Yeah.
I walked into this place in Bowling Green called Liquor Barn, which is a Walmart.
Yep.
You told me about the Liquor Barn.
300 different bourbons all right there. And I was like, well, shit.
And none of them are the ones that you're ever looking for.
Oh, no, they're all there.
Oh,
They're all there.
Not the one I went to. They had, they had Buffalo Trace, like those pints left. That's all they had was pints of Buffalo Trace. And I'm like, I've already been there.
So they have a couple of those in Northern California just before you get to Oregon, and they're the one's called the Liquor Barn and one's called Liquor Expo. And these places are these massive warehouse buildings, and you walk in, they've got from like your $20 bottle of whatever to like, oh yeah, that's $1,800 tequila right there, or that stock this much.
Pappy Van Winkle, $2,000,
23 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, people can talk shit on Cali, and we talk shit about Cali a lot, but no one can ever bitch about their whiskey selection. It seems like every store's got like 6 rows of Eagle Rare 10-year. It's
Dude,
really crazy.
Yeah,
there's so much whiskey out. It's crazy because you go like, oh, I'll be like, oh, I can't get that here, and then I'll step into another store and I'm like, oh, they have everything.
Oh, there it is.
here it is.
Yeah. Well, Johnsy.
So I'm gonna answer your.
Go ahead, Rev. Please, Rev. We're cutting you out. You just got on here. Make your entrance.
I'm gonna answer your question, Tony. So is Coney Island?
I feel like we've had a lot. Which one?
So geographically or politically speaking?
Oh, the Coney Island debate.
Spiritually speaking.
Yeah,
So,
spiritually and geographically, I want it all. I want it.
So when I say politically, I mean the way they break up New York and Long Island, it's in the boroughs and counties.
Yes, boroughs, the 5-borough district.
Okay.
New York.
But geographically speaking, Coney Island is technically part of Long Island. Okay, so the 5 boroughs, you got Staten Island, Manhattan, which is New York City, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, right?
Right.
So Queens and Brooklyn are on Long Island. So technically it's both. So like politically speaking, it's actually part of New York City because it's one of the 5 boroughs. But geographically speaking, if you're looking at where it is, it's on Long Island.
Okay.
I'm more confused. I'm not gonna.
You're
lie.
welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to the Dude Network after party.
That's kind of my job.
Yeah, your job is it's impressive. So you've got to listen to Brian here. You know, I've gotten through the first episode, and he did like ribeyes on the first cook, and then he did his 3 versions of biscuits. Like
nice.
he did like a chicken biscuit, a fruit biscuit, and I forget, like just a buttermilk biscuit. I forget what the third one was. So that's the floor. So I know you've been watching. Like, what have you picked out of this? What questions do you have for Brian?
You know, I think especially when it comes to the biscuits, that's a very like Southern thing, man. That was some dangerous territory to be treading on, being you're from the North, so to speak.
Right.
And I think you did a really awesome job at that, especially doing the 3 for 1. You know, like
Tiffany Derry, the judge, one of the judges, asked me if I stole her mama's biscuit recipe.
See, that's epic.
What an honor!
And I was like, I won this competition. I can go home now.
That's
well.
If I get voted home tomorrow,
you steal my fried chicken recipe, and that's worth it too.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
That's a compliment half right there.
Absolutely.
I love that. You know what though, like, and Rev, you've traveled. I mean, you've lived in. I mean, God, you were from the Long Island, and now you're in Arizona. So you've been exposed to about every type of culinary cuisine there is. But I feel that the people that have moved around the country more and have settled roots in different areas, like them are like the fusion geniuses, right? Because they can combine both flavor profiles. Like I lived in West Virginia for 9 years, which I guess
that's why you have that juggling.
That's a terrible example because their state food's literally pepperoni rolls and hot dogs, so never mind.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Actually, West Virginia's hot dog game is like on a completely effing different level. Like completely.
Yeah.
Like hillbilly dogs. They call them hillbilly dogs down low. Like down south of Charleston, down in the coal fields. And like they have this special coney sauce in West Virginia. It's literally just like burger, grease, and like a little bit of chili sauce. Like that's it.
Healthy.
Like,
Healthy right there.
Like there's no beans. It's thick. It's not runny. Like it's literally just like but it's their own kind of chili.
Sounds great. Sounds like heartburn.
Yeah.
And obesity. West Virginia is the most obese state in the country, and there's a reason for that. A lot of bready and little pepperoni that's also like laced with a lot of preservatives is also their state food. So they're not their state food is not a salad. That is a fact.
But you said West Virginia is the heaviest state in the nation, or one of them?
Yeah.
It definitely has the highest amount of obesity rate per capita.
Dude, so the city I used to live in, Modesto, just north of here, was the fattest city for like 3 years in the nation. That's crazy.
It sure was.
Did they change that? You make it sound like it's a past tense thing, or is it still a bunch of chunkers walking around Modesto?
But it was like
not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean,
at a city, it was like the most Hondas stolen in the nation, or some crazy, like they had more stolen in Detroit for like a couple years. It was insane.
Yeah. You know, I'll answer your question, Tony. So like, if you've been around the world and you've lived in different places, because like me, I was born in Long Island. I lived in New York City. I moved to Southern California, and I've been to 39 of the lower states, you know, and then I served in the military. So I got stuck down south for a lot of that also, you know.
How did I not know that you were in the military? Did you know that, Johnsy?
Yeah, he brought it up
like 6 times already.
Yeah, I was so at least I wasn't last to the party.
Don't feel bad. I do this to my wife all the time. Sorry.
But that's the thing. We get exposed to more things than if you're just sitting there watching TV. And, you know, Brian has that epic idea of just going to the grocery store. I love going to like the farmers markets or the open markets to see what is indigenous to that region, to what they're making there, you know?
I play the game of what's on clearance and what can I do with it. Like true story at my grocery shop. I don't pay full price for shit.
But
like I'm like up this. Like I'll look at it like that salmon's got some color. I can cook that tomorrow and still be good. Like
See, I think I'm the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, they've got this. What is this?
Yeah.
Quick look up. I was like, I'm gonna do this with this, and then
that much. I've never seen this before.
This is actually
$5 a pound. Give me a pound.
Yeah.
This
Give me
is
a half a
great
pound to try it. And then
now I will say when you're going to the Cleveland like small markets and like going to every deli shop, like every Cleveland deli has their own like different kind of sausage that the other one doesn't have. Like he said, like I literally have been to like 20 different meat markets in Cleveland and I have yet to find the same menu. And
I would buy one of everything.
And that's a place where nothing's on clearance, and you're like, that sounds really cool. Like,
dude.
But like, I guess when you're cooking for your family, and I guess when you're trying to ball on a budget, like I love playing the what's on sale and what can I do with it game at Walmart and stuff like that. That's definitely a cool one. So okay,
next time you're in Cleveland, check out the sausage shop.
Where's it at? What suburb?
Parma.
All right.
Parma. Yeah, no, Cleveland, Ohio, Memphis Avenue. It's south of Ohio City. So what's that? Brook Park, Brooklyn area.
Okay.
Old school.
Okay, yeah, Brooklyn's out there. Brooklyn's in a part of Cleveland you don't really go to unless you have a reason.
They closed.
It must not have been that awesome. Sorry.
Oh no, they were in business since 1938. They retired.
Sometimes
no one wanted to take over the biz.
Yep.
Awesome place.
So, question for sorry, Johnsy, go ahead.
I was saying sometimes because it just happened recently somewhere in my buddy's town. He drove by a shop he used to go to and it was closed. And the problem is they keep it in the family because that's how it's been. And then it falls on this younger generation that doesn't want to do for nothing.
Well, I disagree with that slightly, Johnsy. Respectfully, of course, that's a theory. I also think that
it is a theory.
I also feel that the generations have finally given their kids like, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. Yeah, I think that they like grew up with like, listen, I didn't have a choice. Like, I want my kids to have a choice, and most of the kids are like, Jesus Christ, please, I do not want to make sausage the rest of my adult life.
You didn't have it drummed. They don't have it drummed into them that your grandfather was a sausage maker. I was a sausage maker. You're going to be a sausage maker. Your son is going to be a sausage maker. You better have a boy.
And we got a big order today. You're not going to school. I need help down at the shop.
Exactly.
So
you're done with school.
I will yield to that because that's probably a huge thing of it. But I also work as an electrician where I have had several of the younger, 19 to 22 come in, and it's like,
well,
but
you're making how much as a Twitch streamer?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of different arguments on it, for sure. There's definitely people that at 1920 like, listen, I'm not ready to run a business yet. I want to fucking party for 8 years before I want to get blasted drunk for the next 5 years. Then let's talk about the sausage shop. But I do have a question for
when I was in my 20s.
What's that?
I said there's no way I would have assumed any role when I was in my 20s.
I
was too busy playing bass and getting drunk down at the grog shop. Like it's just not.
You're
not a thing.
You're right. But I had a job. I showed up to work the times I did.
I didn't.
Oh well.
I didn't. Cleveland, baby, let's go. That was the Kentucky.
I did not.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is that didn't happen in Cleveland. That happened when Kentucky got around. So, Rev, you said you've lived in all these states. Question: what state have you lived in that's got the best food options?
See, that's a loaded question. You have to pick a cuisine because you're not going to go to like Arizona.
No. I'm not making this easy for you, dude. Your brain's too big. It's too sharp. You're going to work a little bit on this freaking show for a change. Talk.
I'm gonna say where I live because then you can come over to my house.
There you go. There you go.
That's fair, but that's a bullshit answer.
What do you feel like today?
What do you expect? I've been a chef for 25 years.
That's what I'm talking about, though. What state is okay? Then what state's giving you the best options? But that's an answer to the question. I mean, okay, so what you want's diversity. So let's narrow. Okay, so you're obviously a diversity guy. You don't want a certain way. You want a lot of options for whatever way the wind's blowing that day. What state gave you that?
We give Jonesy a lot of crap, but I'm going to say either California or New York, just because that's where there's such diversity.
What part of Southern California were you in when you were out here?
Ventura County.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Southern California is like the entire section of Northern California's diversity in that.
Yeah.
Not as big as everybody thinks. There's a million freaking people, but actual, like, all the little areas are really tiny. So when he talks about like Ventura, or you talk about actual LA is not very big. There's 4 million people packed into it. But when people think of LA, they're thinking of Southern California above San Diego.
Yeah. And there's a big difference.
I don't like Southern California because of all the people, but as far as like the availability for stuff, they got it. It's full over it up here.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. All right, for Brian. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rev.
Like when I lived in New York, there's like Mulberry and Mott Street. That's Little Italy and Chinatown, literally on the same block. And there was a guy who had a food cart who sold falafels right in between them. And I was like, some of the best drunk munching food ever.
It's hard to argue when you have food on every corner.
It's always the hole in the wall on places.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you've done a lot of festivals. You traveled the country. You know a lot of cuisine. You're a big brainiac on the food scene. Like, what would your answer be? What would your favorite area you've ever traveled to that had the most impressive amount of food?
Disney.
No, hey, Johnsy, don't laugh at him. No, Johnsy, he's not laughing.
I'm not lying.
No, because
Disney during their Festival of the Food Week. That's amazing.
And then what's the adult place that you go to that you get like the international stamp that's there at Disney?
Mm-hmm.
What's that called?
Epcot.
Epcot Center.
Yeah. You can literally get a beer card and you can try every single style of beer from every part of the world.
Yep.
And they give you like a stamp, like you're like, yep, you drank
condensed into like.
No, I was just laughing.
3 miles, right?
It is a unique answer, and I love that answer because it's a genius answer. You can literally try everything, and there's trained chefs there for each and every cuisine.
Just culinary out the wazoo there. I mean, but otherwise, it's like any city is gonna have a place where you can pound the pavement. Like even Nashville got a pretty diverse food scene. I'm about 40 minutes north of it. Really like if you go to 5 Points, I've had some of the best pizza I've had in my lifetime at 5 Points in Nashville. But right down the road, you get great Mediterranean or Ethiopian, or I mean, it's just
that's the cool thing about being in areas like that.
I personally am a Florida guy because they have like
1,000 different kinds of
grouper, snapper, like Chilean sea bass, which I know now we've had Fred Reed Fishmonger on here. It's never fresh in the States. Like it's always, you're never going to get fresh sea bass up here. And love that guy. He exposed the fish hatchery big on here back in the early stage. We need to get him back on. But like, you can get the fresh mahi, but you can also get killer beef, killer brisket. There's a lot of
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah,
Think of all
the right side of the state, the Atlantic side of the state.
What people moved down to Florida? I mean, and then I am being stereotyping, but normally it's the older community. But what does the older community have with them? A lot of family history of food, and they're all taking all that down there. You're getting all the old heads with all their life's experiences of food, all going down to Florida. In Florida, you can get fresh seafood, a killer steak dinner. You can go and get the best surf and turf. Like, I love Florida cuisine, but I haven't traveled a whole lot around. And obviously, I lived in Myrtle Beach for 2 years, so the seafood, there was a lot of diversity in Myrtle Beach back before it was like massively commercialized when I lived there, because you could go up to like Sockasty, down on Murrells Inlet, and you could get like fresh catches down there. And then down there, they did a lot of like fried seafood, like deep fried seafood platters, and it was delicious. It was so good. Like you go down and get like scallops, shrimp, like the hush puppy game in South Carolina was fucking awesome. They make the best hush puppies in South Carolina.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, like cornmeal.
That's
cornmeal.
one of the things that a lot of places are shying away from, man. Is that homegrown knowledge. That's just like Brian's guy with the leather-bound holy grail of Italian food. That's something that
book bad.
Everybody kind of shies away from because it's for convenience.
Not unless you know Italian. So
I'm Italian. We're good.
Yeah. Same. I'm second generation Italian American. I could totally take care of that.
Mikey, he's the most Italian guy on this broadcast because his last name ends in a vowel. That's all I'm going to say.
There's that. Okay, whatever. But that's the thing. It's
Brandon John screamed white potato Irish American.
My dad wasn't the Italian one, and that's how the world decides to choose your last name. Excuse me.
I'm just saying, John Z, your last name's John. It's like me saying like my Tony Lane name comes with a straight Oriental cuisine. Like it just doesn't work.
I'm honorary. I was adopted.
Were you?
No, not really. My brother from another mother, their family was like pure blood.
Oh, the Italiano like pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't really say that they were Italiano, but it makes total sense that they would be.
Like their mother was Northern Italian, their father was Sicilian.
I mean, you got kind of bent sideways when Nombre said Polak. I mean.
He did. He buried.
He came out.
And from the Cleveland area, that's offensive. You don't talk shit about our kielbasi, motherfucker.
Well, it was just like he said it, and I was like, the way he said it, I'm like, I'm not sure he knows that.
Hey, if you talk to Nombre on the side, man, like he has no idea what he's saying when he says that. And like that's why he doesn't mean anything bad by it. He's like, oh, it's a Polish thing. I'm like, yo, bro, like, can't do that.
Settle down. Settle.
Yeah. You've never left Texas, but up here in Ohio, like you gotta be.
You'll find yourself in a dumpster.
Yeah.
You can't say that. You're gonna be missing fingers.
Hey, do not say where does time go fastest in Italy every time a day goes by. Joke. Like, do not do that in Cleveland. Do not do that.
Don't do it,
bro.
Yeah.
Richard.
This has been an awesome show, by the way. This has been fun.
Guy who was the hitman for the Gambinos. Dude's got like 300 and something bodies on him.
Yeah,
dude. You don't in Cleveland, Youngstown.
You can't joke about that.
Yeah. Youngstown was literally called Bomb City, USA.
Yeah,
So it was like.
Dude, you're talking to a guy who's done nothing his whole life but watch Gangster and Mob and all that kind of stuff.
Youngstown is where that dude was sitting out in his lawn chair with the local news. He's like, they're trying to kill me. I'm just going to sit out with my gun. Come get me. And that was like the local news.
So, have you heard of the
America
Cornbread Mafia?
The Cornbread? Yeah.
No, I don't know the Cornbread Mafia, but I am.
You should wiki that. Dig that up because we're there.
Yeah, you live there, like dude.
My area, and it's.
Now, I know there's the Amish Mafia, and that's they made a TV show making a mockery of it, but the Amish bishops, they do some shit.
Man, I used to live in Middlefield, Ohio, and it's fourth largest Amish population on the planet, right? And
Middlefield,
those guys, we'd go to bars, and I just watched them get so stoned out of their mind where they're just
and blasted
just tilting their beer, right?
Yeah.
And then they realize that it's empty. They'll drink the last swig, order another one, stand there, tilt their beer right on the floor. And I think they were like 17 at the time.
Yeah. Okay. I want to write down the beer that they were drinking, and I bet I'm right. Just don't say it. Come on, write it down.
Okay.
I'm going to leave.
Keep in mind, this was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So
I think this beer
We'll
was
say
still
15.
around. It's a pretty common.
It was only 10 years ago. It was at least 15, man. Once you get up.
I text the Rev. I'm texting the Rev my answer. All right. What was the beer?
Rolling Rock.
I was not even close.
What was yours?
Bud Light. Oh, Bud Light.
No. Oh no, it was Rolling Rock. Rolling
the Dirty
Rock
Bird.
The big thing, remember? Like, the elixir out of Latrobe.
Yeah, the Dirty Birds. That's what we called them in college, the Dirty Birds.
Back in like 2000.
Back when people would drink St. Pauli's Girl.
I love St. Pauli's.
St. Pauli's Girl.
Do they even make that anymore?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Still delicious. Green bottle, blue label, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. You can find it like every third or fourth liquor store here in town still.
Hey,
has anyone heard of Crazy Horse?
Oh yeah.
What context are we talking here? Liquor?
Or... Not the Native American war chief, the malt liquor.
In West Virginia, that's a common name for a strip club too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Best $5 steak you'll ever have.
And $3 lap dance as long as you're willing to do it on the stage with everybody watching. But I've never been there.
And if you're willing to eat a steak that's not cow.
Hey, we don't talk about that. Meat's meat. If you season it with some proper BT Lees, it's delicious.
It's dark in there. You never know.
You never know.
Hey,
that's the one. I used to work for a guy who owned a bunch of restaurants here in Arizona, and he owned a strip joint that served chicken wings and ribs, and I never understood that.
Know your audience?
Yeah.
Do you get sauce on your fingers?
I don't think you can legally touch.
And can we pretend that the owners just don't give a shit about that?
I'm just saying, in my brain, I went, you're going to get sauce on the dollars, man.
I'm not going there. Not going there.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, you would be
cross-contamination, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you go there to eat chicken wings and ribs and expect to not get a side of yeast with that order. Like, I'm just saying.
Come on, bro.
I have a story about
that. The one? Was that the one? That was the one. My bad. One yeast infection. Everybody gets hurt.
You know?
Hot dog, baby.
We were talking about making biscuits earlier. That wasn't a problem.
I actually have a story about that, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah. Biscuits or yeast infection?
Please tell more.
Something I was caught at a strip club. So when you're in the restaurant industry as a manager, they have like the Cisco shows where, they show you all the stuff, all the new items they're trying to sell you and crap like that. The biggest one is in Vegas. So when I was a kitchen manager, they're like, you can come and bring two guys with you, right? One of your cooks and one of the bartenders. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go. And then you're in Vegas. You're going to do stupid shit, right? So we go to one of the strip clubs and it's the full nude, right? And one of the dudes I brought with me, the bartender, he has a full beard, like longer than mine, and gets the private dance. And then 2 days later at the restaurant, he starts scratching his face.
Oh, no.
And we're like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? It turns out he got teabagged by the stripper and got crabs in his beard.
Oh,
like, we sent him to the doctor and shit, and he had to shave it off and the whole 9 yards on his face.
And that
you close the restaurant?
It keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah, for like 2 days. Yeah.
Everybody, just complete detox.
Yep. Like everybody had to shave off their beards and shit, and it was bad, dude.
Oh.
Whoa.
You got crab snatched, man. That's the word.
On your face.
No.
Well, that was a good story, Mike.
That was A plus.
Solid. Brian, you next. Go. Top it. Don't talk anything.
Let me think.
While he's thinking,
he's thinking.
You know what I mentioned this in the chat?
What this means is he's got some epic shit, and he's trying to figure out if it's the right place. And
yeah.
I have to temper this. I have to temper.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
If you are happily married, we can leave it at that.
Man. If we weren't on camera in a evergreen scenario here, we might be able to say some stuff.
Remember that Patreon thing we were talking about, Rev? This would be a good Patreon.
This would be a good time for it.
My face is on the bottle.
It is.
Yeah.
There's no anonymity for me anymore.
This is not a marketing thing. Yeah, that would be bad.
Something to cry about. New meaning.
You know what?
Okay.
I'll tell you my.
Okay, what? Okay, wait, he's got one. He's got one. All right.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible, right?
Boom.
But when I started my business, right, I was living in an apartment complex here in Bowling Green, and I gave my neighbor a bottle of the Clevelander, and at that time I was in a mason jars, right, because I was doing it out of a commercial kitchen here, and we weren't being co-packed at that point, and I'm walking my dog, coming back in, and he's like leans over his balcony. And he's like, dude, Brian is trashed out of his mind, right? He says to me, he's like, I've been texting this girl and she wanted a picture of my junk. So I dipped my dick in it.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you did what? So he dipped his penis into the bottle of Clevelander and sent it to her with the bottle right there.
Did he?
And I keep thinking to myself, there's a significant amount of turmeric in that. I don't know how stained that's gonna be. Or
Yeah.
So
they used to dye clothes with that.
Right. Some girl out there, some lady in Bowling Green has a picture of a bottle of the Clevelander next to this guy's private parts
with an orange.
Pub's pub, man. Just think about it. That dude did you a solid. You give a jar,
right?
And you hope you get somewhere with it. And I mean, he turned it into a billboard.
So
sure. And she will never forget your sauce.
Now. And she'll never forget the color of it ever.
Yeah.
I just hope it was a favorable association.
Clevelander, the home of the orange mustard sauce.
Orange knob.
I think Alyssa just got home. I might try that.
We're gonna get some weird pictures later. All right.
Yep. We're gonna get some weird messages from Facebook's meta team.
Yeah. You broke community guidelines.
Yeah, I played the song that I have. And I'll guarantee you, when you go back to watch it on Facebook, the first 2 minutes will be muted because I played the song that I have total permission to play from the band.
So you're not allowed to play it.
I'm like, I literally got it from the band's email. Like, what do you want me to do here?
You don't own rights to that. You don't have permission.
Yeah, but yes,
can't
I do.
Can't you put like a disclaimer in the permission or in the description or something like that?
I've appealed it and they just don't care.
They don't care.
I mean, I've even screenshot the email, be like, here's my proof that I have permission to play this. And we had like Eric Bergen on here, and they like took the video down from like, not that we get monetized, like this video will never be eligible for monetization. I'm like, he is the fucking artist. That's the interview on this. They're like, well, the production company that wrote the song is actually owned by this company, and you're not allowed to play that. Like, denied. And I'm like, oh. I was like, okay.
Lovely.
I like texted the agent. He's like, sorry, dude. And I was like,
dude,
thanks.
The music industry is absolutely brutal, bro.
Hey, you know what this means, kids? It's a lesson. Write your own. Write your own music.
No. Don't just write your own. Record it.
And copyright it
on your own. 100%. I've been in bands. I have friends who went farther. It's brutal.
The real takeaway is don't sign contracts when you're 18 years old or
that
under.
is a huge one.
And
know
what you're signing if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Upchurch the Redneck is my hero. Like, I know he's a complete idiot and fool, but that's why I love him. But he's also a genius because he refuses to sign, and he turned that into like a marketing like ploy to push him out further. Like, screw the corpos, like I'm out.
and like because it works.
Oh, it works. Everyone's like, yeah, F the suits, and he's out there making millions because he owns 100% of everything. He owns 100% of everything. Yeah. Like, he wrote his own, like, he brought in his own independent camera crew to record his stuff. And, like, dude, anyway, didn't think we'd talk about that one tonight, but that's a thing.
I mean, if you can do it, like, if you've got the ability to ground up that, you should do it.
Yeah.
I think that's like the talent level that some of these people have. Like, everyone thinks he's just a dumb hick, but man, it's like, dude, he's like making music videos, making the beats, playing the music, and singing the song. Like, that is some serious freaking talent to do it on a consistent basis of that many songs. Hey, Brian, it's hard to come up with that many consistent banger sauces and seasonings like BT Lee's, man.
There's more coming.
How about that for
so many more coming?
Hey, come on, man. Are we allowed to get like a little Dude Network sneak preview? What's in
there? So I've got 2 sauces in R&D right now.
Breaking news. Go ahead.
One is a West African peanut sauce.
Oh, you were telling me about that, dude.
Yeah. The working title right now is Peanuts Envy. That's the name.
Oh, love it.
I kind of love it. My wife hates it, so I don't know where it's gonna go. We'll see. Because she's like, I'm just gonna say Peanuts Envy, and I'm like, just own it. Just walk through.
Okay.
Just say peanuts afterwards, or just
embrace it and send it. That's what we do on the Dude
It's
Network.
kind of the point, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's fantastic. My friend Kalu is his parents are first generation immigrants here from Nigeria, and he kind of challenged me. He was like, dude, you need to make a sauce based on West African suya, which is a street food that they have there. It's ginger and peanuts and cayenne and a lot of stuff, and they do it on beef. They cake it on and they grill it off there. And I was like,
that sounds
challenge accepted, motherfucker. And I did it. And I handed him a huge mason jar, like the liter mason jar of this thing for Thanksgiving 2 years ago, and he handed me the jar back in like 2 days. Like, they went through the whole thing for Thanksgiving. I'm working on getting that co-produced right now. There's a lot of hoops to go through because of peanuts, so that's my holdup right there.
One of the biggest things is allergen labels when you start turning into that turf.
Oh yeah.
There's a big thing where if you have, like, if you're going to do gluten-free items or certain allergen items, when you get your labeling done, they charge you an extra fee to make sure it's certified that it's either has that in it or doesn't have that specific allergen in it. Yeah.
Right now, we're actually going through the gluten-free certification process for all of my products.
Nice. That's a nightmare, but once you get it, that opens up an entire new market.
Yeah, because we are gluten-free. I just need to have the certification seal to do it. But we're hooked up with the University of Kentucky. They're like, we'll do it for you. I was like, all right.
Hey, go Wildcats. Go Cats, go. Cardinals suck. Hey, Louisville now sucks, man. You can never be a Louisville fan again after that one.
Yeah.
And then we have another sauce coming, which is based off of Kentucky Bar Fight. So it's a very popular jam.
There's got to be bourbon in that. There's got to be bourbon.
It does. It's the jam is based on blueberries, blackberries, bourbon, black and blue with bourbon, right?
Yeah.
I removed the blackberries from it, so it's blueberries, black coffee, bourbon.
Nice.
With
what kind of coffee?
I'm fucking around right now with what pepper I want to use, what chili base I want to use for it. So right now I've got ancho and I'm thinking bird's eye. Like, I kind of want a spice. I want a little kick to it, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm still.
Yeah, what kind of coffee are you going to go with?
Probably just an espresso powder, honestly.
Right on.
Okay.
It's so I have to be, since I'm so commercially
Oh.
processed, because I'm trying to be consistent here.
Yeah.
So I can't just like go and grow like a bushel of peppers, process it down, and then sell it. Like we're past that.
Yeah.
We're past that. Like I'm still all natural, gluten-free, vegan friendly, no fillers, no artificial ingredients, no corn syrup, no high fructose corn syrup, all that stuff. Like those are my brand promises, and I try to adhere to that. But I'm selling barbecue sauce in like 43 states right now, and the UK and Honduras, and it's
I'm pretty sure there's BT Lee's in the shelves over here too.
There might be. I have no idea where I'm at anymore. I've lost track.
Yeah. That's good. Hey,
good for you, bro.
It is good.
Let's go.
He's
Well,
I'm everywhere. Don't ask. Just look on the website.
My website's wrong because distributors don't want to tell you where their stores are because other distributors poach distributors. Yeah. So like they won't let you know. You know, they're just like, we got you. Good. We'll have another pallet. Like that's how
it works. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, it's a different. Hey, I've dabbled. As you know, Brian, I have dabbled into that world on a very introductory level so far. But yeah, it's all fun and games to get to the distributors and stuff like that. Then it's a completely different ball game.
Now it's a nightmare. But we're working on actually a distribution deal right now to go states, all of it, whole thing. It's like 420 distribution routes. Wow. Or something like that, 430, and
Jesus, that makes it sound like makes it feel like you've made it, right? Like that, that's stupid.
We're close to making it. I mean, I'm close to hiring people, livable wage hiring people. So we're getting there.
That's awesome.
Dude, that is awesome. Dude,
I know.
How happy would you be to provide someone with a luxurious life on your dime and not sweat?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Well, I'd also like to provide myself with
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, you're not going to do it if you're not taking care of Papa Bear. You know, Papa Bear's. That's what I'm saying. Like, you feel great about you're not sweating it. That was the end of that question. Like, that you're not sweating it because you're like, fuck it, money's there. Like, I need to write off. Like,
but like the biggest thing I wanna impart here is that even though we are growing at such a good clip here, I'm still very, very focused on my brand promises, right? Like I'm never gonna do any of this shit unless it's out of my hands, you know. Someone buys it from me.
You know, and that's one of the rare things, you know, once people get like their flavor complexes down, they tend to sell out and they tend to just be like, all right, let's see how much crap we can sell people. I
have no intention
products that are
well, I
mean, you know, that's one of the rare things, and that's usually what makes the product better. You know, someone's actually willing to sit there and be like, these are my standards, and
to start sacrificing quality, like it's normally a bad sign. Mm-mm. So I think it's great, Brian, that you have kept that integrity. You promise to keep that integrity, and you will walk away if you ever have to give up that integrity.
Oh, 100%. As long as I'm involved, that's the way it is forever. Like it's nothing that I will compromise on.
Yeah, well, everyone that's watching here,
face is on the bottle. You know?
Yeah.
So
you can't hide from that shit. Like people will hunt you down and be like, "You son of a bitch! You gave me chlamydia in your sauce, and your face shows it's you. I know it's you. You are BT."
Oh,
right.
It was only that one girl that one time.
On Furman Street that did the hoochie coochie on some guy's beard and got the crabby hoochie on it. You know,
we thought holding it at 180 degrees for 10 minutes would kill it.
Yeah, that bitch literally had a crabby patty, man.
I got a great question for these two, for Mike and Brian here.
What you got?
I'll drink.
I do a little shout out. I got a buddy Darren watching right now, and he you'd be proud of him. He's talking shit, telling me to put out my Virginia Slims.
Yeah, I told you, Virginia Slim 100 Mentos, man.
It's a thing. Brian, did you know that he smokes cloves and Virginia Slims?
Oh, here we go.
Virginia Slim menthol.
Everybody's got their thing, man.
It's 100s though. It's the 100. It's the real long bastards.
Anyway, enough about that. So with these two, with culinary geniuses here, I'm putting it on you, Brian. I'm putting it on you.
It's okay. I step into it. So
I've been fermenting peppers for a week, jalapenos, and when I bought the plant, they said it was habanero. They don't look like habanero, so I don't know if they got crossbred or whatever, but they're pretty hot. So I've been fermenting them. Found a real quick way to do it with just water and salt, burp it and stuff. And so my idea is to then grill some onion, garlic, and a couple fresh jalapenos, and then make blend, boil, however I decide to do it, down into like a. So, do you guys? Is there any suggestions? This is totally off the hip. I've never done anything like this before. I have like 10 pepper plants, and I'm overflowing with peppers. So I'm trying to do everything, all these crazy things to get rid of peppers. So this is one of the things I'm doing. I figure you're a sauce guy. Mike knows everything about every type of food ever exists. So these are the acid.
Bro, try some roasted tomatillos to your hot sauce.
Okay.
Try doing a batch.
Tomatillos are nice. Tomatillos are nice. You know,
I never worked with them personally.
So, and then going into this, should I like boil it all together, or should I just blend it all and leave it like natural?
So you've got a lacto fermentation going on, assuming it's bubbling, right?
Yeah, it's doing the lacto ferment. It bubbles when you open it.
Yeah,
you got a white film on top, maybe. Because that's your lactobacillus.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I'm pretty sure that you can add things after the fact when you blend it together. But I would still bring it to 180 for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you bottle it, and make sure you do a hot pack and fill on it, which means in at 180 to 200, seal it, flip it. You know, or just make sure it lives in the fridge.
Yeah.
It won't be shelf stable if you don't.
You know that.
I mean, or you can just easily can the things too, man.
No, I know.
You can keep them crunchy for like a year.
No,
but
I'm trying.
Hot sauce is a different animal, especially when you ferment it.
I mean, you're just trying to do different stuff. I took that as like, help. I have peppers. I need to get rid of them. I don't.
No.
When you have live things inside of things that are giving off gas, throwing it into a canning scenario, you might end up with a bomb.
That's what I was thinking.
But
the other thing is, if you're gonna add like grilled onions and garlic and stuff, you need to also realize that you have complex sugars that you're gonna bring out of that material, and you're gonna add it to something that's fermenting already. So basically, you're gonna add more fuel to the fire. You're gonna add to the fermentation.
Nom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then the best thing is to get it up to kills the fermentation. And
that would be the heating process.
And then Johnson, you can also go ahead and like put like a silicone sleeve over it and like cut like a little slit in it that gives like a place for the gas to like evaporate.
Yeah.
And release, but it'll still like seal behind it. Like that's a possibility for you.
Go on Amazon and get a bivalve.
Yeah, I have. I know all about.
Yeah. You got the bubble. It's the same concept, man. When it stops bubbling,
it's exactly what we're talking about, bro. It's like brewing beer.
No. Oh, the peppers are. I already got that down. I just mean like, so this weekend I got to make it, and I was just, what do you think? I've seen videos of people just taking them out of there, blending it, and then putting it in the fridge. And I've also seen people who cooked it afterwards. That makes more sense to stop the fermentation process. So
I would absolutely. That's when I do fermented hot sauces, I always do that. I always bring them up at least to between 180 and 200.
Okay.
Before I do the processing,
about 10 minutes or so,
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's like pasteurizing. You're pasteurizing everything at that point, right?
Correct. Yeah. You're killing off the good bacteria, but the flavor is going to be there still.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Try adding some pineapple to it because you got habaneros in there. Habaneros and pineapple
are money, absolutely.
Yeah, like Tony on this Grill Life, like the jalapeno pineapple cream cheese combo. I still haven't got to do, but this looks absolutely divine.
John Z, find something called quince, bro.
Yeah.
Go to the farmer's market and find some quince.
Hey, I grew up with a
And
quince
then,
tree.
like-
Quinces are a native thing to Ohio. You want to talk about
And then like grill them real quick, and then add that to your salsa or hot sauce instead of the pineapples, bro.
So
if everybody wants to know what a quince tree is, it's like the most tart ass apple in the history of tart apples.
Ooh, that's my favorite. Or tart.
But
apple.
when you take a bite of it, it literally leaves like this like sandy texture of pulp on your teeth. Like it's wild. But they are delicious. They are super tart, and because my great Aunt Texie made quince bread. And I guess and she was from Beckley, West Virginia. And that was like a thing that they grew back then. Because like quince tree was like
Quince, okay.
I mean, I don't know. It's like an apple tree, but no one talks about it. And it's funny that quince came up because I thought I was the only one that's ever heard of a quince tree. Because there's where do you find a quince grove? Where is it a native tree to, like naturally? Because I feel like the one that we had in Ohio was like an oddity.
I know this without Googling it.
Okay.
Is not indigenous to America. Those were brought over by European settlers.
Like, so what European part of the world did they come from?
The British.
Really?
Commonly grown in Western Asia, Southeast Europe, and parts of Latin America nowadays.
Nowadays. They were brought over by, like, if you go into like the international section at the supermarket or like World Market, go look for quince jam, and it's all produced in the UK because all of their trade routes and stuff, they brought it here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Quince. Yeah.
Empires.
Well, I mean, almost
Exactly.
so much stuff here, like star thistle, that was brought over for them to use as fences to keep their sheep in.
America, baby.
Yeah, so much stuff. I mean, they got wild boars are not wild to here. There's no pig native to North America. Those are all Russian boars brought over for hunting, and all the domestic ones were all brought over.
I mean, dude, you can go down to Miami canals and catch peacock bass that are only supposed to be in the Amazon River in Brazil. Yeah. I mean, every invasive species in this country came from we lost all our elm trees because of an elm tree blight. We lost all our ash trees because of the ash borer beetle. Like, all came over on the ships, man. Like, we've lost so much shit and gained so much shit because of what's came over on boats.
Yeah.
You ever drive through Georgia and you see kudzu everywhere? Kudzu is an invasive species. All that like beautiful green foliage along the highways.
Not be there.
Like bamboo orchards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Destroy the ecosystem and then just create their own.
Yeah. You know, 500 years ago, none of that stuff was here.
Yeah. So they did I don't know if you guys know this, but here in California, they had a Clear Lake. They have a Clear Lake in Clear Lake, California. And they had a huge problem. Someone dumped off pike in there, or they introduced pike because it's a big bass fishing tournament lake, right?
Yeah, and probably not many bass left there.
Yeah, they destroyed the lake, and so they dumped this poison in there to kill the pike, and it worked. It didn't destroy other fish or anything. I mean, it had a little bit of, obviously some repercussions or whatever. But the craziest thing it did is all the algae and bottom of the lake now resides at the top of the water. It inverts the lake. Like, you just took
bizarre.
And click invert, and it was like, the opposite of how the light would be. It's exactly what it did to the lake. It's weird, dude.
Yeah, at the end of the day, don't fuck with nature. That's what we're getting out of this.
Yeah, but you know what? It's our nature to fuck with nature.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what American dream is? That right there, Brian. That right there. That's America, where we fuck with everything.
And we're really, really good at it.
Not wrong. I think we might have finally solved our motto. I think we've been looking for a vision and an identity for many, many years, and I think I just discovered it. So
it's our nature to meddle in everything.
Yes, it really is. And we do it at places called the Iron Horse or Crazy Horse.
But let's be fair to the American spirit. I think it's just our cockiness that we think we're going to. It's not like we set out to wreck it. I think we just think, oh, yeah, well, let's make it better now.
Someone told me this week, like, I'm so, like, I still get so, like, naturally, and, like, it's so stupid. I get so naturally offensive. Like, I made a joke about, like, the Queen, and they're like, oh, too soon. They're like, oh, too soon. I was like, fuck that. I'll dump her ashes into Boston Harbor with Nestea. And I was like, shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said it. Had no business saying it. But it just happens.
He had no business saying it, but he said it again live.
And I did, and I still think it's kind of funny. Like, that's the.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah, it is very funny. Very funny. I saw a comedian on TikTok where he mimics states and talks to them.
I love that guy. Yeah.
And he was like, the Queen is dead, and everyone turned to Boston. Did you do that? And they're like, we did not, but we respect the fact that you asked us if we did. And I was like, I lost my shit. It was great.
That dude actually had another video when he, announced the Queen died, and everybody, all the different states were like, Beyonce?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
Car accident?
Yeah.
That might have been a Diana thing. They want to mean it to be, but that could be interpreted that way. That's not how I meant it.
They want to make a little joke.
Different royal died from a car accident.
They got her doing like a whole European
paparazzi.
Yeah, but did you
Diana? I'll down that throne too.
But did you see the picture of Meghan Markle wearing the exact same morning dress Princess Di was wearing?
Dude, Harry and Markle are like gangsters, bro. I love them.
Shade right there, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of all of that stuff, but I will give Prince Harry his credit. Like, he joined the British Army and fought in Afghanistan.
Yep.
And they had to have, like, the Royal Guard extract him because they thought it was too dangerous for one of the royals, and he went back.
He's like,
fuck so, yeah, I give him a little credit.
Respect. Props are due, for sure.
Yeah, And one of the biggest things in that story, when he lost all of his titles and all of this stuff, they tried stripping his military medals, and the head of the British Army went, we can't. He earned them. Like, he was a combat soldier. You can't take those away. He didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, I can't, like, the cojones on that guy.
Right?
In reality, because he left an institution that's been around forever.
Bro.
Like, the amount of pressure. We were talking about, like, the sausage maker guy.
No, I was literally just getting ready to circle back, Brian. Be like, hey, we literally just talked about the generation of saying, like, I am not going to follow the family's footsteps because I have to.
Right.
And that guy said, I'm embracing that on a magnificent level.
Yeah.
And bringing it to light.
Right.
Yeah.
When people see guys like that, though, to continue on that topic of this massive circle around that's very beautiful, like, that told a lot of people, like, I don't have to live up to my dad and mom's expectations. I can do whatever the hell I want. And guess what? There's less people making sausage.
Right. You know what? There are people making sausage that actually love to make sausage.
It's like a whole new thing. Like,
I'd rather get my sausage from someone who has a passion for sausage versus someone who's like, this is the way our family's done it for generations. And I guess
two guys on this show.
Yeah.
Sausage Sensei, Bill Dumas, and Grubbs. First generation sausage makers. Both just loved making food and fell in love with it. And now they're like two of the best sausage makers there is.
Yeah.
First time ever doing it. And guess what? Their kids don't want to do it.
At that point, I would just apprentice someone who does.
Oh, yeah.
Be like, your family now, son.
Yeah.
Can we agree that there will never be another Bill Dumas in this world?
There's no way, dude. No
way. Dude, that guy. Brian, are you familiar with the Sausage Sensei?
I am not, actually.
Dude, This guy does some crazy shit. Like for Sheryl Crow, like you down in Texas, he's got like Sheryl Crow showing up all the time, like rock stars. I keep saying Sheryl Crow. There's more, but in my head, I just remember photos of him giving Sheryl Crow his sausage in the most culinary way possible.
So this guy's on the show and he's talking about how his daughter, I think it was his daughter or niece or someone, was making Wagyu brownie, or they were using Wagyu tallow for brownies and
brownies, yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh yeah, and by the way, we're making it into a sausage."
It's a spectacular idea.
It is.
Oh. And then he made it into a sausage, the cookies and the brownies.
I'm still pissed that no one's done the cranberry pecan chicken sausage yet. Just throwing that out there. I'm waiting on
I'm still waiting for him to do the New England clam chowder sausage recipe I gave him.
I think that you need to do that one, bro. I think you need to be the guy to bring that to light.
Maybe.
Bro, we need to get Rev. We need to get Rev.
And stuff with some Clevelander. Shout out.
We need to get Rev on. Rev, send me your stuff and I'll build a page for you. There, I said it.
Oh, man. There we go. Johnsy can do it.
Uh-oh.
Hey, guys. I tried to keep these to an hour and a half, and we are at 2 hours. Like, we got to wrap this up. Like, this is amazing. I love it. We can all agree that Brian needs to come back at some point in time to finish.
Yes,
anytime.
That has been electric and magnificent. He's probably going to be too big time for us. He's going to be like nationwide Walmart, and he's like, fuck you guys. Like,
No.
I would love the chance to be able to pick Brian's brain any day of the week.
You won't see me in Walmart. You probably won't find me in like Kroger's or my like it's not
your thing, man.
I can't bring my price point down low enough to do that.
Yeah. They want to like steal it from you so they can sell it themselves.
Yeah, I worked with Walmart too often. I just can't do it.
Walmart is notorious for taking companies like something awesome and doing that price gouging stuff and bankrupt
and destroying them.
Or making you get away from your original recipe to cut corners.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep. Well, hey guys, I appreciate all three of you guys. Johnsy, killer job on your first co-host night. Thank you for stepping up tonight here. Doobie, good luck. Rev, awesome drop in here at the end. Glad we got you on here still for an hour. Brian, one last thought. Go ahead.
btlees.com.
Yeah, I was just saying, where can we find you?
Yeah, it's been on the bottom ticker the whole
right
time.
Now, I'm setting up a discount code.
Here we go.
Okay. The Dude Network, 20% off.
That's awesome.
Go get it.
Clip that.
Awesome. We'll get it. It'll be active for about a week, thereabouts.
You'll probably get at least 500 orders minimum.
I'll get that either clipped tonight or tomorrow morning, first thing, so we can have it out there.
And go ahead and We'll get that. We'll get that on YouTube, Facebook, all the good stuff.
I'll try and just send that one straight to you.
We'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll put that in the stories. We'll do all kinds of stuff. So, Dude Network, the Dude Network,
Network,
all combined,
real name, all one thing, all one word
thing. The Dude Network.
Yep.
20% off. That's gracious. Thank you. Hey, Brian.
Hey, you know what?
Absolutely.
Hey.
Thank
you, sir. Hey, that's awesome. That is a massive, and we'll definitely all get that out on Twitter and everything too. Thank you for giving us a chance to save people money to try your amazing stuff. And it is amazing. I'm testifying. My wife, who's very picky, as you all know, loves something to cluck about. She said one of the best chicken breasts that she's had in a long time with something to cluck about on the grill. Nice. So everybody go check out btlees.com. Also, thank you again to our seasoning. Our sponsors for tonight. S word, different word. Of course, Cleveland whiskey. Bad idea. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. But after the moonshine, probably a bad idea. So we got Cleveland whiskey. We got Willis seasoning, sauces, and blends. Thankful for them. We're thankful for Branch Barbecue out of Lakewood, Ohio, with the Branchero Fieldhouse mustard. And then again, tonight, our special guest, www.btlees.com. Promo code, apparently the Dude Network will save you not 10, not 15, but 20 mother effing %. That's
we do free shipping on orders over $75, so I don't know.
Free shipping on $75. Get the neighborhood together, put it together,
right?
Take everybody's money via PayPal, Apple Pay, Square, Telly, Zelly, everything. Whatever the hell.
I take everything.
But hey, we appreciate everybody. We got to wrap this up here before 2 hours, or I will definitely never forgive myself. You guys are all the best. Next Tuesday, we're going to be getting our big Talking Tuesday with Cleveland. We got talking episode. We got the Rev coming on, chatting random thoughts of the Rev, and Brian, you're awesome. We'll have you on in the network at somewhere along the lines. We love you. We appreciate you.
Holler at me.
Thanks for having me. Of the Dude Network, and subscribe, like, shallow, fair, whatever. Do whatever you got to do. We're out.
Bring a friend.